Sometimes the modifications you want to make in your images has to do with the fact that you want to remove certain parts of the image. For example, if you want to cut down part of the image, we call that cropping. We can use the crop tool to go in and remove portions of the image that we don't want to have visible. You can also use the crop tool to set a certain size for your canvas. So if the image you've taken needs to be set out as a poster that you want to put out there, or maybe a business card, or some kind of standard image size, you can do that. The crop tool allows for that. The crop tool also allows us to follow certain rules when it comes to imagery and how we can line up our subject within that imagery. And another aspect of the crop tool, it'll allow us to align the horizon and make sure that our image is always straightened. So let's see the power of the crop tool inside of Photoshop. I'm currently using the double rainbow.jpg file. And yes, I did actually capture an image of a double rainbow. I was on the way to pick up my spouse from work and it happened to be there. So I stopped and I took a picture. Now this is a panoramic image. And if you've taken panoramic images, you know that the foreground, if you've got straight lines like I do, they become skewed. And here you can see in the asphalt, those straight lines on the road don't look very straight because of the way the panoramic image works. However, what's really nice is the background where the double rainbow is and the grass and the trees are pretty straight and flat. So we're going to create an image that only has that green area and the double rainbow. And so we can remove the asphalt and remove that skewed image. To do this, I'm going to start by going to grab the crop tool. The crop tool is the fifth tool down, I was right, underneath the quick selection tool. And it sort of looks like a crab. It's sort of these two L shapes that are kind of combined together. In actuality, if you're working as a carpenter or you've worked as an architect, this is actually two squares. A square is a tool that is sort of a 90-degree angle, and it lets you measure 90-degree angles, and they're overlapping each other to create that shape. So that's two squares. The name of the tool is a square, and it's the overlapping of those two squares. When you click on that, you're going to get the handles all around the image that show you where you can use the crop. And the way this works is you pull those crop handles into the image to get rid of the content you don't want. So here I pulled the bottom center up, and now you can see the content that's going to disappear gets grayed out. I don't want my mirror, I don't want the road, and now I need to confirm that this is the area I want to keep. To confirm the area I want to keep, I would hit this checkbox and do that. Now, if I want to set a specific size for this, on the options panel here, I'm using the ratio. Ratio lets me pick my own size. It's a custom shape that I get to create. However, I could set it to a specific width and height. When I resize these handles now, they're always going to resize proportionally. So it will always maintain, in this case, the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper example. If I want to change that to a different unit of measurement, I could pick a standard image size here. Okay, so here's the 1024 by 768 or a 4 by 5. Maybe I'm trying to work with a poster. Or I can go in and choose something different. I can choose a different aspect ratio. So 4 by 5, 5 by 7, 2 by 3, 16 by 9. That's a widescreen monitor right there. And that's actually what this is. This is widescreen, 16 by 9. Now I can move this area for cropping and then pull this up. But because it's maintaining that aspect ratio, as I shrink it down or expand it out, it's kind of messed up. Now I do like to have the ratio option because it gives me freeform transform. So I'm going to do ratio again. And I'm going to remove the values that I have here. I'm going to clear that out. And I'm going to do ratio and just move that left and right. There we go. And pull this up. Okay, so that's the area that I want to crop out, the asphalt. Now, I haven't accepted this yet. I can either hit the Enter key to accept, or I can check the checkbox. I'm going to click the checkbox. One thing I do need to fix, I do have my A-frame of my car, so I'm going to select this area out here with this A-frame, and I'm just using the quick selection tool to do that. And I got too much, so I'm going to option click to subtract this area. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because there's a nice feature within Photoshop called the Content Aware Fill. To do Content Aware Fill, I'm going to do Shift Backspace. And you can see the content aware fill dialog box comes up. It says it's going to content aware. Now the content aware is an algorithm that's going to figure out all the pixels surrounding the area I've selected, and it's going to fill it in with those pixels. So in this case, the blue of the sky. So when I click OK, the blue of the sky is going to come in. There we are. So now when I deselect, I have this nice image. Okay, let's look at some other aspects of the crop tool. I have another image open called the reservoir ducts. When I select the reservoir ducts, you'll see a picture here of the reservoir and the ducts are in the center. Now the ducks were escaping very quickly, and as a matter of fact, they were at one point on the shore, and I moved down to go take a picture of them very closely, but then I fell, and then they started to scurry away, so I took the picture, and it was off a little bit. I'd like to straighten that horizon. Now water is usually level to the horizon because of gravity. So with my crop tool selected, I'm going to go to the right of the clear button and click on straighten. Now straighten is a little balance that you might have when you're doing construction again. You can use that level in order, that level tool. I said balance, but it's a level tool. You can tell I'm not a carpenter. The level tool will make it so you can see the little bubble inside the liquid, and you can make sure that it's level. Remember, liquid always, because of gravity, is always straight. So here I'm going to draw a straight line across where the water should be level. So I'm following the diagonal of that lake as it's touching the shore here. So I'm just going to start on the left and go to the right a little bit. Now that fact that I'm at negative 4.8 degrees is going to tell it that it needs to adjust that and fix it to 0. So it automatically rotates and crops the image. When I hit enter, I get a better looking image. But the image is still not 100% the way I want it to be. If I click with the crop tool on my image, I'll see a grid appear. This grid has 2 lines vertical and 2 lines horizontal. Those vertical and horizontal lines, they create 3 separate sections vertically and 3 separate sections horizontally. This grid is called the rule of thirds. If I go to the right of straighten on the options bar, you'll see here that I can click on that grid and I can change it to a different rule, like the golden spiral, or I could do the golden ratio. These are rules within art that let you create different looks and feels to your work. Now, I am going to leave it on rule of thirds because that's the most common rule. And essentially what the rule of thirds says, if you align the subject of your image to either the vertical rules or to the horizontal rules, you'll get a much more interesting image. Now, I could try to align my ducks here to this topmost rule of third. In order to do that, I'd have to pull this crop handle down until they touch the ducks. Once it touches the ducks, I can hit enter, and yeah, I might get a much more interesting image, but it's not because I don't have the sky anymore, and it doesn't look really good. So I'm going to undo that. Instead, I might go left and right. So I could put the ducks on one of these rule of thirds here. So I could pull from the left and move the ducks this way. Now that the ducks are on that line, when I hit enter, okay, that has a little more visual appeal, but it's kind of too square. I don't like that, so I'm going to undo. Instead, I think I'd like to move this bottom one up. It's a little closer to the ducks, so as I move it up, I'll get rid of a little bit of the grass, but I still have some grass there, and I do have the sky, so that's good. So when I hit enter, I get an image that's much better. So this is now, the subject of my image is now on the lower third, and it's going to look good. So using the crop tool gives you the power to make your images, to fix problems in your image, but also to give visual interest to your image. Practice with the crop tool, try different things with it, see which settings you like on the images that you've worked with, and see how you can correct the problems that occur in your images with the crop tool.
We hope this video helped. Make sure to click the thumbs up and click the subscribe button right here. And click the link above to check out our Limelight classes, a free virtual live training. See you in the next video.